Happy Macro Monday. On today's Macro Monday, we're going to be reviewing Pacifico Clara from Grupo Modelo out of Mexico City, Mexico. Happy Macro Monday. Hey there, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review. It is a Macro Monday, everybody's favorite Monday. Thank you for joining us on this festive occasion. I've got Andy in the attic looking very festive. I've got Jay. I am Ben. What are we Macro Monday-ing?
You just made it a verb. We're gonna Pacifico Clara hard.
Okay. Sure.
Happy Macro Monday.
All right.
In honor of our Pacific Coast beer, I wore my Pacific Coast shirt. Oh, look at this.
Yep. Quite the see-through beer. Happy Macro Monday.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Jay, are you still muted?
Yep. Cheers, mates.
Yeah. Pacifico Clara, a Mexican lager, 4.4%, I believe. I wrote that down, but I didn't look at the bottle. Somebody else can look at it. Yeah, 4.4. Mexican lagers are commonly referred to as Clara. Clara. I got to get out of my German and get into my Spanish. Clara. See. Means low bitterness and high clarity. Clear. Clara, clear. And this type of beer, the Mexican lager, actually evolved from the Vienna lager. And we're going to make reference to that later when we talked about the history of Grupo Modelo. But before we get to Grupo Modelo, we have to start with the beer. Pacifico Clara is a hearty, quote, hearty, crisp taste of citrus and ocean mist. I get a little...
What does ocean mist taste like?
So, I mean, there's a lot of things doing stuff in the ocean. I don't know what type of mist I want in my beer there.
No.
With light bitterness. Yeah, maybe. This was originally brewed in Mazatlan, Mexico, which is on the Pacific coast of Mexico. It started in 1899 to 1900. I saw two dates. So those are the two dates I got, by three Germans who opened their Cerveceria del Pacifico, which translates to the Pacific Brewery. The label that you see on the screen there is a picture of the lifesaver encircling a ship's anchor, superimposed over the port's lighthouse hill there in Mazatlan. Mazatlan, excuse me. And that hill is known as the Cerro del Creston, which means Hill of the Crest. Like waves, crests, crashing, things like that. Grupo Modelo bought out Pacifico in 1954. And we'll get to later on how Macro Monday came about from Grupo Modelo. So let's go to Grupo Modelo, which is a macro brewery. It was founded in 1925 in Mexico City. The founders were a group of Spanish immigrants And we're not just talking regular people who came over and wanted a better life. We were talking about business leaders. They were different types of industries, and there was a large group of them to start this brewery. They then got some Austrian immigrant brewers that started helping them. We have covered Grupo Modelo when we did Modelo Negro as one of our past Macro Mondays. That was brewed by the Austrian immigrants. So they've got different brewers in there. They were Spanish immigrants, but they also got the help from other European brewers. So one thing I've read was Modelo Negro was in 1926. Their website says 1930. So I don't know which. So it was in that time. Grupo Modelo also brews and sells Corona. And it was about around that same time as the opening in the mid-1920s. In 2013, Anheuser-Busch InBev takes them over. And so Macro Monday. So since then, they have taken over. They're 63% of the total Mexican market share is Grupo Modelo. That is, I mean, would we consider that a monopoly? That's a large chunk of your entire country's brew production distribution. But they have a lot of brands, and I'm only going to name the Mexican brands that Grupo Modelo controls. It's, of course, Modelo, Pacifico, Corona, Victoria, Leon, Estrella, Jalisco. But they also work with the imports too. There's a lot of other imports. I mean, there was a long list, and I've been talking enough, and I knew it would be. So,
you're talking about the Grupo Modelo having 63%. I wonder what the largest is in the U.S. and what their percentage is of the market share.
Oh, okay. Curious. Yeah.
Just wondering.
Yeah, I can look that up now.
Prior to a couple of years ago, it would have been AB InBev.
Right.
And Bud Light would have ruled.
Right.
But
Bud Light, and it was after 2023-ish, 2022, that Modelo actually overtook Bud Light as the biggest seller, and which I'm all right with because I like the taste of Modelo better than Bud Light.
Yeah, I agree.
Me too.
We were talking about that before you came on, Andy.
Yep. We talked about a lot of stuff, but that was all I want to share. All right. I'm gonna assume everybody's had this one.
Yeah.
All right. I'll jump in and go first. I've had this one a fair amount recently because I bought some for a Mexican themed dinner night with some of our friends, people you both know. And so none of it got drank, so I still have it all.
How long ago was that themed dinner?
Oh, it was maybe a month-ish ago.
Oh, okay.
Not too long.
Thanks for the invite.
So they all wanted margaritas, not the beer.
It was margaritas and wine, and I drank beer, but I took
to Ben's house. We would need the hard stuff.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't at my house. It was our mutual buddy that lives nearby. But
are we talking Joseph?
We are. So, and
I dropped the crown.
Yes. So anyway, I took several kinds of Mexican beer, Modelo, Pacifico. I probably took some Guinness. I don't remember exactly what all I took, but I took a bunch of beer.
Mexican beer Guinness.
Well, I took the Guinness more for me. But anyway, no, it wasn't Guinness. I took a sports beer. Anyway, so I've had this one recently because I've had it in the fridge because I had extras, and was really the one pushing to have this one for Macro Monday, so I didn't have to go out and buy it again later on.
Makes sense now.
So, I understand.
Yeah. So, I mean, all in all, it's It's a very light filler beer. It has I mean, the flavor is okay. Um, it's not necessarily, the flavor's not as macro as some of the U.S. born macros. So I do like it a little bit better from that standpoint. But it's crisp and it's fine as a filler beer here and there. It'll probably be a while, given that I think I bought just a 6 pack, but I'll have had 6 of them in a short-ish period
But you
of
have
time.
others. Yeah. Like you said, you got Modelo.
Yeah.
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 So it'll be a while before I buy Pacifico again. It's okay. I'll drink it again. If somebody hands it to me, I'll have no problem drinking it. If this is one on a slew of macros at a ball game or something, this is one I'd probably select over a few others, honestly. But yeah, do I really want to drink it? Probably not. So I'm going to give it a 6, just because I like it a little better than some of the others. But it's not anything I'm really going to turn to unless I'm kind of forced to, if you will. So, Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Ben. It's not anything that's going to wow anybody. And it's definitely something that would fall into that filler beer category. Although I don't think I'd buy it as a filler beer. I think I told you when I was at the store it was $10.99 or $11.99 for a 6 pack. I'm like, you know. So it it's better than some of the American macros that we end up with that just have pure corn flavor, if you will. But that said, it's light, it's crisp, but it gets lost in the shuffle. It has some flavor to it, but there's other macros I'd take over it. Um, it's probably going to fall as a 5.5 for me.
What specifically from the ocean was in your beer? You know,
Yeah, there wasn't any salt
yeah.
because I actually do like some of those. There's a few beers that where they put sea salt and lime or those type things in there on the sour side that are really
Yep.
good. But I can't tell what ocean mist was that went into mine.
Yep. All right.
Oh, that wasn't an M. That was a P. Sorry. Not ocean mist.
What say you, Andy?
I prefer Mexican lagers over American macro, like adjunct lagers. I just think that Vienna style, which the most Mexican lagers are based from, are just better. Of all the Mexican lagers, I like Pacifico. It's up there, but I'm more of a Tecate and regular Modelo fan, and then Pacifico follows not far behind. But I mean, there is a ceiling to these types of beers on my rating scale. I mean, it is what it is. It's light, it's watery, it's 4.4%. So it's not going to pack a lot of flavor, not a big punch. Granted, it serves its purpose for the time where you need it. Like right now, I mean, it's the winter. So this is not a winter beer for us. Usually it is, I want this. It's hot. I want to throw a lime in it. I want to look at some water, enjoy the outdoors. But it's still, for what it is, I want to give it its due, and I give it a 6.0.
So what you're saying is you're going to sip this and think about the ocean as you're in the attic there, huh?
The ocean mist.
Yes. That is going to be a 5.8 for the Pacifico Clara from Grupo Modelo here on our Macro Monday. Definitely one that we all drank today. If you've had it, let us know what you think about it down in the comments. We'd love to hear that. Be sure to check out all of our social media links down below. Check us out on our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It is a chat room. Tell us what kind of ocean mist you get in your bottle of Pacifico. You can come share that with all of us there. We would love to hear that. We have links for our Hopped Up Beer Review merch and some of the glassware that we have purchased that we showcase on this show from time to time, as well as the hardware software that we use to produce the show. So all those links are down below. You can check all those out. Appreciate you making it this far. If you would, be sure to like, subscribe. Cheers to that notification bell. We would appreciate that. That's all I got. For Andy in the Attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.